space for you. I'm happy to do more live streams. I love doing the live streams. Let me know what you would like this Sacred Circle community to be. I am very adamant that we should continue to be doing these sacred circles for bringing in more peace, more unity consciousness, and more connection with each other and for the planet. So that is going to remain the first Wednesday of every month. We're going to do the Sacred Circle community that is for the intention of bringing us together in unity consciousness, and for you to bring your prayers and your intentions to the circle, anything that you might be experiencing, anything a loved one might be experiencing. We're here to hold space for that. This is kind of like a prayer circle, but it's more than that. It is for us to come together as community and really anchor in new energies of love, peace, and unity together. And we do that by holding space for each other and these guided meditations together. And man, they really feel like they work. That's what we're here for. We are literally here to anchor in energies of healing and peace, not just for the planet, but for ourselves, for our immediate community, and that has ripple effect. So the more that we are anchoring those energies for our loved ones and our community, that has a ripple effect on the planet. And then we do guided meditations, which is what we're going to do today. So something that's been coming through over the past couple of weeks is the energy of peace versus war. And we shared one of the Sacred Union energy updates was all about war or the warrior. And we had channeled that back in, I think, January, and we were guided to share that again. I was guided to share that again. And then we did a channeling back in 2024, February of 2024, called War Games, all about war again, and how to release the energy of war and anchor in more peace. It was the War Games movie that they had brought to me. The only way to win is not to play. So all these energies of war has been coming through, and I think it's because of what we're experiencing within the collective. And so we already did a lot of channeling around that, around internal war of the warrior, and around war with regards to the global collective and human events, collective events that we're seeing on our planet. But I want to just kind of tap into that energy now and see what guidance we have, whether for our own individual journey or with regards to the global collective experience. And remember, it all is interconnected. So we're just kind of channeling right now about this war energy that I've been getting a lot of energy around. These downloads I've been getting a lot of energy around peace versus war. And that is coming from internal war that we might be experiencing. They just said it's this Saturn in Aries transit is really picking that up, the internal war that we're experiencing. Because Saturn in Aries is really just karma. It's literally going to show you where you've been growing and where you've been holding yourself back. And so for those of you who might be, have been doing their shadow work, their growth work, who have not been holding yourself back when it comes to the inner work, Saturn's going to show you that too. It's going to look like a reward, but it's literally just reflecting you. It's literally just reflecting where you are. So it might look like a reward, but it's only because that's where your frequency is. And Saturn's going to show you where your frequency is, especially with regards to your life. And those of us who have been doing that inner work, like it might feel like everything's open up, opportunities are opening up, where it might feel like everything that had been stalled is now coming in. You're reaping the rewards. That's what it feels like. So it really depends on what end of the spectrum you are. And I really feel like for the majority of my collective, you are going to be experiencing that opportunity. You're going to be experiencing more of that manifestation. You're going to be experiencing more alignment. You're going to be experiencing more peace. And the more that you anchor into that peace too, the more you're going to be resonating with the peace versus the inner war that you might have been feeling in the past. So I was pulling some cards around this, and we have the card Angel of Manifestation, and I was beginning to say that it feels, well, yeah, first of all, this message, your efforts, determination, and perseverance have paid off, because this is literally the inner growth that you've been doing. Manifestation is not something that lives outside of you. It's not something that you are seeking. It's not something that, oh, I want to manifest this car, I want to manifest this house, I want to manifest this pay raise, I want to manifest this relationship. It's outside of me. It all comes from within. Manifestation is just creation. And what is creation? Creation is alignment. And you have to align your energy within, your frequency within. That's literally all that is. If you are aligning your belief systems, your patterns, your mindsets, your self-concept and self-identity to that higher frequency, well, that's manifestation. The universe has no choice. It's literally a law of the universe to match that frequency. That's what alignment is. That's what manifestation is. It is literally just alignment. It is literally just tuning to the right frequency, the right radio station. So that's the reward, especially Saturn is all about the karma. Karma is a neutral energy. We just tend to apply meaning to it. Karma is neutral. It is literally just responding to your vibration, to your frequency. And so the more tuned in you are to frequencies of peace, for example, the more we're going to experience peace. And that's where it becomes a choice within your own physical life, your own individual life, and within the collective. And that's what we're doing here within the sacred circle, is we are anchoring in to those timelines and frequencies of peace, those timelines and frequencies of unity consciousness, those timelines and frequencies of love. And we're doing it together, which is what truly amplifies the energy. So with this angel of manifestation, this is a profound message, because this becomes a choice. What frequency are you choosing? Are you choosing lack and scarcity? Are you choosing victimhood? Are you choosing fear? Are you choosing war? Or are you going to be choosing peace, unity, love, abundance, fulfillment? Are you going to be choosing those higher frequency energies? This is literally a choice. What is it that we want to manifest? And it stems from the individual, but the more of us who are anchored into that individual alignment, the more we're going to create that in our physical reality. So the more of us who are choosing peace individually, the more that's going to affect the global collective. And so in the past, over the past however many centuries, there has been an energy of war. We have collectively, unconsciously chosen war because we were in the energy of competition. We were in the energy of lack. We were in the energy of victimhood. We were in the energy, they're saying, of disempowerment. And that is what creates war. That's what creates conflict. But the more of us who are going through this consciousness journey, this ascension journey, the more of us are anchoring into those higher frequencies of love and peace, the more we are consciously choosing love and peace. And that has a greater impact. So it truly becomes our collective choice, but that collective choice stems from an individual choice. That's really powerful. That's really empowering. You know, we tend to think of war as something outside of ourselves. We tend to think, we're helpless. When you think about Palestine, for example, when you think about the war in the Ukraine, when you think about past wars like World War II, like Vietnam War, we think that we're powerless, but we're not. Going back to Vietnam, you think about how there were all those protests. There were the peace protests, right? That had a major impact in actually ending the war, ending our contribution to that war, because there were so many protests, because there were so many people saying, make love, not war. That had an impact on the collective consciousness. That had an impact on ending the war energetically. Now, there's all sorts of, politics and everything that goes into it. There's all sorts of different layers and levels. But when we're looking at it from the higher perspective, when we're looking at it from the soul's perspective, the energetic perspective, that those peace protests, those make love not war, when you're anchored into that level of consciousness, that has an impact. And it had an impact in ending the war, because that war could have continued. Any war could have continued. So it does become an individual choice. The more we clear the energy of war within ourselves, the internal battles, the inner conflict, the more we clear that and anchor into peace and unity and love within, the more that has a ripple effect. The more we will collectively, in the human experience, in the grounded experience, stand up and say, make love, not war. The more we are consciously choosing peace. It all comes down to choice. It all comes down to the inner work. It all comes down to the frequency that we are holding. This card is card of psychic protection. It says, what you believe you create. No one can harm you. Again, a card of manifestation. What you believe you create. What you believe you create. Let's think about that for a second. That is what we're talking about. Your frequency is what creates your reality. And we see that on an individual basis. We say that all the time. Life doesn't happen outside of us. It literally happens within. We talk about that with regards to union. We talk about that with regards to finances and money. With regards to anything in your life, it literally happens within you. And then your physical world reflects that, because it's based on your beliefs. It's based on your self-concept. It's based on what you identify with. It's based on who you are. And when I'm saying who you are, I'm talking about who you believe yourself to be. And you get to choose that. You get to change that. Who do you want to be? And I'm not talking about, let's put it this way. You are you on a soul level. The more you unleash all those false beliefs, all those old energies, all those old patterns and conditionings, you're coming home to yourself. You're becoming more and more authentically you. And that is who you are. And within that authenticity, within that wholeness, you get to decide what you believe about your life. I'm abundant. I am loved. I am supported. The universe always has my back. I am guided. You are connecting deeper and deeper to your authentic truth. That's what we mean by who do you choose to be. You can continue to believe that you are still the conditioned version of you, the patterned version of you that you were operating in, where you believe society that says you're not worthy, where you believe your family or your friends that say that you're not enough, where you believe, society saying that you live in lack, you live in scarcity, that you are a victim to circumstances. You can believe that, but that's not the truth of who you are. The truth of who you are is soul, and soul knows that you are worthy. Soul knows that you are loved. Soul knows that you're enough. Soul knows that you're abundant and always supported. And so it all comes down to choice. What you believe is what you create. And the more we recognize that, the more we empower ourselves. And this is where we change the world. Because it's not about, it is about peace versus war, but it's literally comes down to the energy that we're holding within, the frequency that we're holding. Are we going to believe that we're peace, or are we going to believe in the external war that's being created, that's being shown to us? It comes down to the energy that you're embodying. So we can literally change the very foundations of what we believe life to be. Life doesn't have to look like wars and conflict. It can be peaceful, but we cultivate that within first. What you believe you create. Nothing can harm you. Empower yourself. Empower yourself by recognizing that it all comes from within you. Goddess of justice. What seems an injustice is actually a blessing. And this is the energy of, it is literally showing us. Everything is a teacher. Everything is an opportunity to show us more about ourselves, individually and collectively. And so when we are witnessing war, And as somebody who is deeply empathetic, I know we all are, for me, I feel a huge, like it's my Libra that's activated. I feel a lot of helplessness sometimes, a huge sense of injustice. I want to fight for people. I want to advocate for people. I want to be an activist because I can't stand, the injustice, especially against the innocent. It just, I can't stand it. And I feel helpless a lot of the times because what can I do? How can I affect change? Well, I can affect change by becoming more and more myself, by honoring peace, by honoring the energy of love. That is where we create balance within ourselves. And so when we're looking outside of ourselves at current events and the wars that are taking place, the conflicts that are taking place, the injustices that are taking place, it's very easy to feel helpless. But again, that's where you're protected to continue to do your light work, we'll call it, to continue to do your inner healing and inner work, because that is really what creates change, and you're guided to keep doing the inner work through your ascension journey to create that change. And also it becomes a choice. What are you manifesting? What are you creating? But it comes from the inside. Again, anchoring to those frequencies of peace, of love, of unity. What you believe you create. So it might look like injustice on the physical, and it is injustice in the physical world, but it's also showing us where there is still war collectively within ourselves. It's still like that's literally what has it's being shown. The shadow has to come to light. And what we're seeing collectively is the shadow. We're seeing the collective shadow. Especially in the United States, we're seeing racism and sexism and misogyny and bigotry and all sorts of injustice play out, because that is the shadow. But the shadow has to come to light, where it might have just gone underground, it might have just been hidden. Now it's literally coming up to be cleared, to be purged. And so that is in and of itself a blessing. It might feel really hard to say that because, again, there's so much pain, so much suffering, and so much struggle that is being experienced in the physical for so many people as a result of the physical circumstances. But when we bring it to a bigger perspective, and our ascension journey is all about pulling back and looking at it from the higher perspective, from the soul's perspective, we are seeing that, hey, nothing can change unless there's like a fly or something here. Nothing can change unless it's brought to light. And we know that from our individual journeys. You have to bring it to your conscious awareness. You have to acknowledge it. You have to confront it in order to move through it. You have to reveal it in order to heal it. So that's where this Justice card is playing a part. There is a balance that is playing out right now, and it's going to take a little bit for us to actually see the results of that, to see the manifestations of that. But again, the more of us who are collectively coming together to anchor in those frequencies of peace, unity, love, compassion, and all those higher frequencies, both on an individual level and as a community for the greater collective, the more we're going to see that change. And they keep bringing me to the next couple of years. So I feel like over the next couple of years, we're going to continue to see the shadow, but we're also seeing the light. For me, it was very difficult the past couple of months. Not the past couple of months. Back in like November until like January, February, it was very difficult because I felt the heaviness, the weight of the world. And I had a lot of reconciliation, a lot that I had to kind of reconcile within myself, of looking at it from a human perspective, but also seeing the higher perspective. And so it was like I was doing battle within myself of the human is struggling, the collective is suffering. There's so much pain that's being experienced, and I don't understand it, while I also can see the higher perspective and the threads from the higher perspective. And so I had a lot of inner work, of inner going within to kind of reconcile that. But now I see how much there is a coming together. Where it looks on the surface like there's so much division and there's so much separation, I actually do see the unity where more and more people are waking up. More and more people are standing together. More and more people are coming together and saying, hey, this is not okay. This pain that you're causing is not okay. This division that you're causing through the rhetoric that you're saying, through the actions that are being taken, this is not okay. So the shadow had to come to light for the collective consciousness to continue to awaken and stand up for each other. So we are actually seeing a coming together among what it looks like division, which is incredible. And the more we tune to the unity of it all, the more we create that. So, war or the warrior? Who do you want to be? What do you want to experience? And how can we anchor into more of those energies of peace and unity together? How about we do a quick meditation with regards to clearing out our chakras? How does that sound? Get comfortable and relaxed. Feel your body just get loose. And we are going to close your eyes and take deep breaths in. And with every deep inhale, you're going to feel your body get more and more relaxed. Heavier and heavier. More and more relaxed. Feel your shoulders drop. If you're lying down, feel yourself sink into the floor or your mattress. More and more relaxed with every inhale. Take a deep breath in and release. And a deep breath in and release, getting more and more relaxed as you go. And as you inhale, imagine golden white light filling up your lungs, filling up your body. And as you exhale, release any negativity, any heavy energy, any dense energy, any negative thoughts, any hard experiences of the day. Release it out into the universe with your breath. Deep breath in and release, clearing all the energy of the day. In and release. And one more time, deep breath in and release. And now we're going to bring in the golden white light. Anchor to the grand central sun, God source energy itself, a pillar of that golden white light streaming down, surrounding you as a pillar of golden white light, down through your crown chakra, letting it clear out any confusion, any disconnection, anywhere where you are not grounded or anchored in to your connection to God's source. We're going to clear out any of that disconnect to bring you back online. Remember that you're loved. Remember that you're supported. Remember that you're guided. Remember your oneness with universal consciousness, with God's source energy. Remember, you are part of creation itself. And as part of creation yourself, you are always provided for, cared for, supported. There is nothing separate from you. Not time, not space, not distance. Not relationships or money. desires, or passions. You're connected to all. Any negative thoughts that pop up, linked to separation, scarcity, and lack, we clear that energy now. The golden white light of God Source energy itself, bringing you home to God, bringing you home to that oneness, bringing you home to that connection. And we move down into the brow chakra, the third eye, insight and wisdom, intuition and awareness, clearing out any energy that blocks you from your own intuition, any energy that blocks you from your own wisdom, your own understanding, your own awareness, anything keeping you from yourself. Clearing the pathway, clearing your foresight, your insight, clearing your connection. Bringing you back online with your intuition. They're bringing us to the pineal gland, clearing out any blocks, clearing out any dense energy, clearing out any attachments blocking you from yourself and your truth. Take a moment and just imagine that golden white light clearing out any dense energy. And imagine your third eye coming back online in a beautiful indigo hue. Bright, vibrant, that chakra energy spinning in a healthy and balanced way. And we're going to move down to the throat chakra. Speaking your wisdom, speaking your truth, honesty and expression, not holding yourself back, not denying who you are, not avoiding your own soul, allowing yourself to speak your truth and express yourself in ways that are honest and true to you, that are authentic to you. Clearing out those blocks, clearing out hesitation, clearing out fear. I'm also hearing clearing out performance, to allow yourself to speak clearly, truly, authentically, purely as you are. Imagine that golden white light clearing out any fear of speaking, any fear of communicating, any fear of expressing yourself. This could be fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of neglect. Any fear holding you back from expressing yourself as you are for who you are. Allowing yourself to be seen, allowing yourself to be heard, clearing out that throat chakra. And getting that chakra energy spinning in a healthy, balanced way. And moving down into the heart, expansion, allowing your heart to expand, feel that golden white light filling up your heart, anchoring into that higher heart, feeling it expand. Cutting any cord of heartbreak, any cord of grief, any cord of loss, filling it up with love, compassion, peace, unity, oneness, allowing that heart to expand, expand, expand. And if any feelings come up, any feelings of grief or loss, pain, sadness, heartbreak, allow yourself to release it into that light, be transmuted into that light, and feel your heart expand in more love, fill up on more love. Let the love be greater than the grief, the loss, the heartbreak, the pain. Cutting those cords and filling up on that. You might see it as green, you might see it as pink energy. Fill up on that heart chakra light. Let that light expand. Take a deep breath in and feel the expansion. As you take a deep breath, imagine filling up on love. And you can imagine it again as green, as pink light, or as that white light of God's source energy. But fill up on that energy and feel your chest open. Feel that expansion. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved. And feel that energy anchor in. And moving down into the solar plexus, where any energy is stagnant, insecurity, self-doubt, anything holding you back from that self-empowerment, from recognizing your worth, recognizing the courage, the tenacity, clearing that energy. You might visualize your solar plexus as like a muddy yellow color. We're going to clear that energy so it's bright and golden once again. Bring in more of that golden white light, clearing out all that muddy color, clearing it out, clearing it out. Just imagine more of that golden white light, clearing out that energy center. Anywhere where you feel lack of worth, anywhere where you feel uncertain of yourself or insecure or disempowered or helpless, clearing it out, clearing it out. You are worthy. You are courageous. You are bold. You are enough. You are empowered. Feeling that energy rise. Feeling that energy fill you. Recognizing this as your soul speaking to you. Honor it. Honor yourself. And see now that beautiful, vibrant, sunshiny yellow as the energetic chakra center spins in a healthy and balanced way. And we're going to move down into the sacral chakra, where we store all sorts of trauma and emotion and pain. We're going to clear that energy now so that we can express ourselves in healthy, balanced emotions. The sacral is our creative center. What are we creating? What are we manifesting? And doing so from that empowered way, from that balanced state. I'm also here, I'm going to clear out that womb center. That womb center will restore lifetimes of collective trauma. Clearing that out. Clearing that out. Cutting the cords, clearing out that energy. Imagine that golden white light filling up your womb, filling up your sacral, clearing it out, clearing it out. And anything that comes up to the surface, any emotion that you're feeling, don't suppress it. Don't push it back down. Let yourself feel it. Let yourself cry. Let yourself rage. Let yourself feel it. Let yourself release it. Clear it out. Clear it out. Bring in more of that golden white light, God's source energy. Anchor that in. Feel that anchoring in now. See that bright orange color, like a beautiful sunset. And feel that energy chakra center spin freely, openly, in a balanced and complete way. And we're going to move down to the root chakra, your seat of security, your seat of groundedness, your seat of wholeness, your seat of home and remembrance. You are meant to be here on this planet, in this space and time. Nothing is by accident. You are not by accident. You are supported in everything that you do, in every decision that you make, in every action that you take. You are supported and you are guided. Anchor into this knowing now. Root into this knowing now. As above and so below, you are supported by God's source. In the ethereal, you are supported by Mother Gaia in the physical. And you are the bridge. Feel that sense of safety and security. Feel that sense of home. You are your own container. You can hold yourself, love yourself, support yourself. We're helping to stabilize the energy now. Stabilize the energy. Beautiful, vibrant red. Releasing any of that old energy, any of those old beliefs that you were locked into lifetimes, saying that you're not supported, saying that you're not secure. You are supported. You are secure. You are home. Home is where you are. This is your inner sanctuary. You can visit at any time. Bring in more of that golden white light, clearing out that old energy and anchoring into the knowing that you are one with God, as above and so below. And balancing out that chakra in a healthy way. And we're going to bring that golden white light down through our legs, down through our feet, releasing anything still lingering down into the earth, to the core of Mother Gaia, where she cleanses, transmutes, releases. And she brings that pure energy back up, amplified, back up through your feet, through your root, through your sacral, through your heart chakra, anchoring into your heart. Anchored into that golden white light, all chakras in alignment, balanced, cleansed, and cleared. Back online and connected to God's source and Mother Gaia as one divine being, as they are and as are you, connected always as one. And when you're ready, you can come back and open your eyes.